In this video, you'll learn how to lay out your drawings for printing and how to save them as PDF files to be used in other software such as PowerPoint. New terms we will use for this video are sheets, which are basically pages that are set up with specific images of your design. Viewport, a rectangle that is drawn on one of your sheets that is a window of the design you have created in model space. Layout is associated with the various tabs at the bottom of the drawing area. By default, AutoCAD names the tabs layout number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on. But you can change them to represent what is actually on the layout sheet. Paper space, a nickname used to describe the function of the layout tabs. Basically, what's on that tab is what's going to show up on paper. And then of course there is model space. I did not include that here, but model space is back in the area that you drew your design in. If you click on the model tab, you'll see your original AutoCAD drawing surface, and that's called model space. You've probably been wondering what these layout tabs are for at the bottom of the drawing area. That's where drafters create the various pages, or sheets as they're called, of the plan that will be used by the contractors on the job site. Sheets are also called paper space, which is a nickname given to describe what actually appears on the sheet. However, the sheet is arranged will be exactly what is printed on the sheet in the end. If you hear someone referring to layouts, sheets, sheet sets, or paper space, they all connotatively refer to the same thing. Simple plans consist of about 12 to 15 sheets of drawings. More complex designs, like for high-end custom homes, can require 50 to 100 sheets or more. Commercial designs will consist of well over 100 sheets depending on the size and complexity of the project. At the front of the classroom is a copy of the plans for the Career Center, which consists of 186 sheets. Look at them anytime you want. AutoCAD automatically creates 2 layouts every time a new file is created. Each layout generally consists of an individual sheet. However, layouts are also created with several sheets for printing efficiency. Click on the Layout number 1 tab. You see a small image of your plan in what is called a viewport. Hover over this viewport and double-click. Spin the scroll wheel forward and backward to zoom in and out. Press down on the scroll wheel and move the mouse in any direction for panning. There's no set way to lay out your sheets, but there are some customary arrangements, which is what I'll be basing this layout on. When you go to work for someone in the future, they'll have their own way that they want you to lay out your individual sheets, and in what order, how they want you to name them, how they want you to number them, and everything else. So I won't take you through all of that. I'll just take you through my way of laying them out, and we'll go on from there. The first thing to do is decide what size sheets you're going to print. For this class, everyone will set their sheets to Arc B 18 inch by 12 inch. Mouse down to Layout number 1 tab and right-click on the mouse. In the menu that pops up, select Page Setup Manager. In the new dialog box that pops up, Layout 1 should already be selected. If not, select it now. Next, with Layout 1 highlighted in blue, click the Modify button. In the Printer Plotter section, select the pull-down menu to the right of the word Name. A list of printers should appear. Look for a printer called AutoCAD PDF in parentheses High Quality Print .PC3. In the next section, labeled Paper Size, select its pull-down menu to reveal a list of printing options. Select Arc full bleed B, in parentheses 18 by 12 inches. It is important that you select 18 by 12 and not 12 by 18. It will make a difference. Width is always first. On the right side and at the bottom in a section called Drawing Orientation, select the radial button next to the word Landscape and then click OK. Click the Close button on the Page Setup Manager box. You may notice that the size of your sheet has changed, but not your viewport, which is probably a smaller square in the bottom left-hand corner of this new sheet. To change the viewport size, click in the empty white space of the sheet to turn off the viewport, which is highlighted in blue. Hover over the viewport border with the cursor and click to activate these handles at each corner of the viewport. Grab the top right handle, click, release, and drag until the viewport is within an inch of the paper's edge. Then click to place. Next, you will need a title block and a border. Below this video in Schoology, there is a link to download the title block I want you to use. Download and place this block on your CAD block or in your CAD blocks folder. On the Insert tab of your drawing, select Insert and follow the same process you learned when placing any other CAD block. Drag the title block once it is on your drawing. Drag this title block until it fits evenly over the sheet. There should remain about a 1/4 inch gap between the title block's border and the edge of the sheet. To ensure proper alignment, draw a rectangle on a new layer around the edge of the sheet. You can call this layer alignment or what have you. Now select the Move tool and select the border of the title block. We're going to move the title block around. When it asks for a base point, select the center of a horizontal line on the title block. As you move the block, try to snap it to the center of the rectangle's horizontal line like so. Next, select the Move tool again and grab the center point of the vertical line on the title block. Just like you did before, try to snap it to the center point of the rectangle's vertical line. This will probably take a little playing around with. You may have to go in and turn on or off some of your snap behaviors. But what we want to end up with is this title block placed perfectly in the center of the sheet where there is a 1/4 inch border from the edge of the sheet to the border of the title block. Now double-click inside of the viewport's borders to activate the viewport. The blue handles should disappear, but the lines should still be highlighted in blue. Center your drawing and zoom until the floor plan elevations fit inside of the viewport's border. You may need to spin the drawing to make the best fit. To get a good fit, click on the zoom function in the navigator bar to the right. Select Zoom Window and draw a rectangle around the components of the drawing that should be included on the sheet. If there are elements in the viewport that are not intended to print on the sheet, go back to your model space and move the necessary geometry, and then when you come back to layout number 1, the geometry will not be in the picture. Now Make final adjustments to the viewport by stretching its borders to match those of the title block. Now the setup is pretty much complete for this sheet. Next, you're going to create layout number 2 on your own. Layout number 2 will be of just your floor plan, showing all of your dimensions. Electrical, furniture, appliance, and casework layers must be turned off. The next video will show you how to put multiple viewports on the same drawing to show your elevations on the same sheet. One last tip before I go. When placing your floor plan, if your dimensions do not show in paper space, then type the word ANNO all visible. That is ANNOALLVISIBLE. And then change the value that pops up in the dynamic input. And of course, that's after you hit the enter button. So change that value, which probably says 0, to 1, and then click enter.